Welcome back on How to Start a Clothing Brand, a step-by-step process, episode number 6. In today's episode, it's going to be all about screen printing. So I'm just going to go ahead and call this episode Screen Printing 101. Now, it's important to know about screen printing because about 90% of apparel embellishment is done through screen printing. So before we get into that, let me introduce myself once again. My name is Randy. I'm the creative director over here at Uneak Design, where we design and reprint apparel for many other clothing brands, as well as we have 3 of our own in-house brands that we sell. So jump on in this episode and follow me along. So like I said, this week's episode is all about screen printing. Now, I've been real careful about trying to keep our episodes in order, so that way if you're starting from scratch, you know where to go to build a clothing brand. This one's going to be a little bit out of place, but it's going to be its own standalone episode, so you can always come back to this episode in the order that we shoot it. But before we go any further, I really need you guys' help. I need you guys to hit subscribe to this channel, so I know how many people are interested in this, and you can just help us keep everything going. Now, as you guys know, this is the COVID-19 and we're over here in quarantine, so we're able actually to shoot stuff that we normally can't shoot during production. So what I want to do is I'm just going to go ahead and walk you guys through the screen printing process. So come on and follow me to the art department. So welcome to our art department, and in here is where we do all the design work, we do all the color separations, everything that takes place before it gets printed. Now, in screen printing, the design is very important, that it's usable, and we'll jump into that in another episode. I just kind of want to show you the process of it. So what we get in any design is we make a work order for a job. The customer gets approved, that they approve, and then we have to put all the specs of the design. So kind of important to understand this, because whether you're ordering 50 shirts or 50,000 shirts, this all has to take place and the process is still the same. So when you're ordering volume, you got to understand that that's why you're saving money, is because even though all the setup stuff is still the same, we're able to do a lot more with higher volumes than we can with smaller ones. So I want to take you on screen here. And what we have on screen is a design from a customer. And the first thing that we have to do, I'm in Adobe Illustrator, which is what we recommend for most artwork. What we have to do is we have to take this design, which is actually 3 colors, and we have to separate each single color and print that onto a film. So as you see, we have a light green here, we have a medium green, and a dark green. And so what we do is we separate each single color, and I've already done that, so I'm just going to scroll over here to the right. And as you can see, each color has been separated. So we have the light green, we have the medium green, and the dark green. Now what we're going to do is we're going to print each single one of these onto a piece of film. And that film is what's going to be used to burn the screen. So what we have here, we already printed the film for you guys. This is the film. It's been cut down. This is basically the light green film. It's printed as a negative. And then over here we have, this is the dark green, and then over here obviously is the medium green. And we're going to take these pieces of film, and this is what we're going to do to burn your screen. So these are going to go into an envelope, they're going to go with the job, and they're going to go to our screen department. So let's take you there now. So now we're on our screen department, which we call the dark room. It's called the dark room even though it's not that dark, because we use special filtered lights that will protect the emulsion that we use to burn the screen. So what we do is we start off with a blank screen, and let me show you this. This screen is basically just a blank screen, and the screen, it has mesh, it has a bunch of holes when you zoom in. It kind of like your screen at your house. It's just a finer mesh count than what you would see at your house. So we start off with a blank screen. What we do is we take this screen, and I'm not going to show you the process because you got to wait for the emulsion to dry. But we take a blank screen and then we coat it with what we call emulsion. Now this is a light sensitive chemical that's sensitive to light, which is why we're in the dark room. Once this is exposed to a certain powerful light, it will actually burn the image into the screen, and that's what we call burning a screen. So I'm actually going to grab somebody from our screen department, and she's going to show you this process. What she's going to do is she's going to take the film that we printed out, and she's going to line it up on this template. This template has the screen and the platen, and so by lining it up on this little custom template that we make, it's easier for us to line it up on the press. So she's going to tape the film down to the screen, line the screen up with the template, and then close this, what we call the vacuum blanket on top of the exposure unit. And what this vacuum blanket is going to do, it's going to just suck the film and the screen close to the glass so we can get a sharper image. Once the vacuum has already sucked the the screen all the way to the glass, we turn on the exposure light. And what this exposure light does, it hits the screen with ultraviolet light, which will harden the emulsion where the area the film is not exposed to. After the screen has been exposed to the light, what we do is we remove the film and we take it to the washout booth. And then we gently spray it with water. So what happens now is the area that was hit by the light is actually hardened, and the area that was covered by the film is actually softened. And so the water actually dissolves the emulsion in that area so that that part of the screen is exposed, so the ink will actually pass through that part of the screen, and the emulsion that didn't get rinsed off actually hardens and acts as a stencil. So the next step, what we're going to do is we're actually going to mix up the ink. Now, this is Jared, our production manager, and what he's going to do, he's going to mix the custom ink colors. What we have is we have stock colors, and which are very limited. So anything that's out of the stock range, Jared has to custom mix with the formula that's provided to us to match the color that you guys asked for. So what Jared's going to do is measure every single gram that needs to go into that mixture, mix it up, and then get that ready for the press. So here we are in front of the press, and as you can see, we've created a screen for each single color. So right here we have the light green, over there is the medium green, and over there is the dark green, and Jared is finishing setting up the white. Now you might say, why is there big screens on here and small screens? These are screens for our automatic press, and these are screens for the manual press. And since we didn't have to remake everything just for this video, we just went ahead and just used our automatic screens on here so you can kind of see the way it works. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to use a squeegee, and again, this is just on our manual press. On the automatic, there's a machine that does that, but here, just for this video, we're going to show you on a manual. We're going to print each color, and so we're starting off with the light green, and that light green is now, once it's printed, it's going to go into this, what we call a flash dryer, and what that's going to do, it's going to dry the ink slightly, so that way we can lay another color on there. Now, it's not going to dry it completely, because if it dries it completely, by the time you print the other color, the colors won't adhere to each other, and you'll have a problem when you wash this garment. So all we do is we just flash it slightly so that it's basically dry to touch, and then we can print the other color and then continue this process. All right, so now the shirt comes out of the conveyor with the final cure. It's been printed, it's been dried, and now that it comes out of the conveyor, it's ready to go. So now the shirt is fully printed, it's ready to be bagged, folded, shipped to the customer. So as you can see, there's a lot of steps that go into printing apparel. And whether you're printing one shirt or 100,000 shirts, the setup and everything else that goes into printing a shirt is the exact same, which is why when you print a higher volume, you get a better discount, because burning the screens, printing the films, mixing the ink, it's all the same process, whether you're doing a few shirts or you're doing a lot of shirts. Now, everything you see here is obviously using professional equipment. This is not the only way to print apparel. In further episodes, I'm going to show you guys how you can do some of this stuff from home, but just for now, I just want to show you how screen printing is done from a professional standpoint. So thanks for watching this episode on how to start a clothing brand, and I'm going to have some resources down at the bottom of the screen that's going to talk about how to separate colors and stuff like that. Now, for you that have been following, we did start a closed Facebook group for people who are looking to start a clothing brand, so you can join that closed Facebook group. You can connect with other people that are just starting out. You can share resources, and again, we're trying to build a community of people that are interested in doing the same thing, so that you guys can all work together. We can answer more questions in that forum. So check out the closed Facebook group. And next week, you guys, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do subscribe. And then next week, we'll jump into another episode. You guys have a great day.